So only a single developer can merge at any one time because after he merges, the next developer needs to get those changes that developer is committed to master and rerun all of his tests to make sure that the merged changes don't affect his code in an adverse way that will then break master. So we end up with this position where only one developer can merge at a time, so we're limited by the time it takes our build to run. And you can imagine with this much quality checks on your build that it takes a long time to run. Originally it was taking hours. We did a lot of work, me and Tom and a few of the guys, Max as well, to shrink the build time down, and it's not hours anymore. It's under 30 minutes now, which is great, but it's still, that's a long time to wait before you can merge in.
ลองคิดดูนะครับถ้าเกิดว่าเรารันหนึ่งคอมมิตหนึ่งพูลเข้าไปในมาสเตอร์นะครับแล้วก็มันใช้เวลานานมากนะครับเพราะว่าหนึ่งพูลเนี่ยเวลาเข้าไปในมาสเตอร์แล้วเนี่ยมันจะเอฟเฟกต์กับพูลที่เหลือนะครับก็คือมันจะต้องมารันใหม่ทั้งโปรเซสนะครับถ้าเกิดว่าโปรเซสเหล่านี้มันสั้นลงนะครับมันจะดีมากถ้ามันยาวเนี่ยวันหนึ่งเราจะรีลีสได้ไม่กี่ครั้งนะครับ
So the result, what this ended up happening because this occurred, is the developers had to communicate with each other and make sure that only one person was waiting for their build and merging at a time. If this doesn't happen and there's no coordination, what ends up happening, which we've got on a few of the other teams at the moment that's growing, is every time you're waiting for your build to merge, someone's merged in before your build finishes. And I had a developer complain to me that's working on one of the other teams just the other day. He had to run his build 6 times because other people were merging the master and he was having to merge back in, rerun his tests, blah, blah, blah. So what they did on the front end ages ago is they came up with this manual queue process that the developers used to manage amongst themselves so that they weren't all trying to merge at once and they would wait for each other, and it was a manual process, but it worked.
ก็ในเมื่อมันมี developer ถึง100นะครับแล้วก็แต่ละทีมเนี่ย publish code ขึ้นมานะแล้วก็ create pull request ขึ้นมานะครับทำยังไงให้จัดการทราฟฟิกพวกนี้นะครับให้เข้าไปใน master ได้แบบตามลำดับที่ถูกต้องนะครับไม่ใช่ว่าวันหนึ่งเนี่ย developer create เข้ามาแล้วต้องรันถึง6 ครั้งนะครับกว่าจะได้เข้าไปใน master นะครับมันไม่ดีก็เลยมีระบบ queue ขึ้นมานะครับ
So some background. So we wanted to automate this process. It was taking the developers a lot of time to manually coordinate. So one of the things that I'm really big on is empirical process control, and I strongly believe that part of process automation should embody this. So I got together with a bunch of the developers and we came up with a plan, and this is actually the plan that we came up with on the whiteboard. I still have the screenshot on my phone.
ก็เขาก็จะมีคนที่คอยจัดการคิวนะครับตอนแรกครับเป็นแบบแมนนวลแล้วก็ตรงนี้เขาคือกราฟโปรเซสก่อนหน้าที่จะมีบอทเข้ามาให้ดูครับ
So decisions are made based on observation and experimentation rather than detailed or upfront planning is the premise of empirical process control, and that's what we tried to do with this bot. Is we just basically got together with the developers. The developers are the ones that are a part of the process, so they should be the ones deciding how to automate that process. I think if you've got the other teams coming in and going, hey, this is how you should automate your process, then you fail. The people doing the process know the most about it, so they should be the ones that, and that's what we tried to do with this.
ก็คือเขาก็คุยกับทีมอื่นๆนะครับว่าเนี่ยทำอย่างเงี้ยโปรเซสแบบนี้จะออโตเมตได้ไหมนะครับก็นั่งคุยกันนะครับแล้วก็จะได้แผนออกมา
So what we did is we observed the existing manual process and then engaged with the developers on how to automate it. So what did we observe? So the developers were using Slack to communicate about who could merge next, and it formed a manual queue process in a Slack channel for the repository.
ก็ตอนแรกคือเขาก็เข้าไปในห้อง Slack นะครับของการ deploy คือเราจะมีห้อง Slack ไว้สำหรับ deploy นะครับไว้ communicate กันนะครับก็ใครจะ deploy ก็จะเข้า queue ไว้นะครับอันนี้เราก็จะไปก่อนที่จะทำก่อนเราก็จะไป observe ว่าแต่ละ process นะครับม มีอะไรบ้างที่เป็น manual process
So developers would indicate they were ready to merge, would be placed in a list that was pinned to the channel. Person at the top of the list would wait for their build to pass, merge their pull request, remove themselves from the list, and then the next developer would do the same. So yeah, the process worked. It was slow, but it worked.
ครับก็คือ process ปัจจุบันนะไม่ใช่ปัจจุบัน process manual ก่อนหน้าที่จะมีการ develop ก่อนนะครับก็จะเป็นประมาณว่าใครจะ deploy ก็จะพินตัวเองนะครับว่าเฮ้ยพร้อมจะ deploy แล้วใน Slack channel นะครับพอ deploy เสร็จทำ process ที่กลับมาก่อนหน้าที่เสร็จทั้งหมดทุก process นะครับก็จะ merge เข้า master แล้วก็จะ unpin ตัวเองออกนะครับ
So the main issues with this manual system were sometimes someone at the top of the queue had a failed build and they took hours to fix that hold up the rest of the people from merging. The next person in the queue after someone had merged might be away from their desk on lunch or something, so it may take them hours to get back to their desk and actually start the process again. And the manual process made things laborious for developers. I think at one point we had someone that was at the top of the queue and they were sick that day and no one noticed. So no one merged for a whole day because they were waiting for this guy that wasn't even there. Yeah. Sorry?
Is it the queue to merge to developer branch or?
Master. We don't have a developer branch, we use GitHub Flow. Yeah.
ก็ปัญหาอย่างหนึ่งนะครับคือมันพินนานเกินไปนะครับบางทีพินไปแล้วเนี่ยบิวไม่ผ่านทันทีนะครับบิวอยู่นั่นแหละนะครับคนต่อมาก็แบบโอ้ไปกินข้าวกลับมาก็ยังรอตัวพินแรกเนี่ยยังบิวอยู่นะบางทีก็ลาป่วยไปนะครับเราก็ต้องอัดพินเขาออกตรงนี้ครับแล้วก็เอาคนต่อมาบิว
So what did we build? So we decided to mimic the developer's interaction with Slack using a bot and fix the issues they were having with the manual process at the same time. It just made sense to look at the process the developers had came up with by themselves and just go, the only thing wrong with this is the manual part of it.
ก็เราตัดสินใจว่าเราจะทำบอทนี่แหละครับให้แบบง่ายๆใช้ง่ายๆโดยการทำบอทให้คุยกับ developer ผ่าน Slack channel นะครับ
So what did we build? We built a Slack bot in .NET Core because we wanted to use .NET Core. I don't have a better reason than that. The actual reasons to go to .NET Core, there's a lot of reasons not to go to .NET Core at the moment. The performance is probably the only one reason, or cross-platform compatibility is the only reason to go for it. It didn't really matter for us, but it was a good learning exercise. And so the Slack bot basically uses a WebSocket connection to connect to Slack and interact with the developers on Slack. And then it uses REST APIs to call GitHub and TeamCity to do the different forms of automation that we need.
ครับก็เราเลือกใช้ .NET Core นะครับเพราะว่าเราอยากมีโปรเจกต์ทดลองนะครับเพราะว่าเราคิดว่า .NET Core เนี่ยมันน่าจะ interest ใน .NET Core
Yeah, well, it was good to take a I don't know if you call this thing production. I mean, if it breaks, it causes big problems. But it was good to have a project that we could use .NET Core on to, learn about it in anger.
ก็เหมือนเป็น pilot project นะครับก็คือเอามาลองใน production นะครับว่ามีปัญหาอะไรหรือเปล่านะครับแล้วก็เราใช้ WebSocket ในการ communicate นะครับจากตัว Slack channel นะครับมาดูของเรา
So one of the problems with using .NET Core is support. The Slack .NET API library didn't support .NET Core, so what we did is we converted it over .NET Core, which was a great exercise to go through. Most of the differences we found in doing this, interestingly enough, was in the reflection libraries in .NET are completely different. The rest of the stuff converting to .NET Core was pretty easy, but the differences in the reflection libraries though were not too hard. It was just basically a big Control-Shift-H to fix it up.
ก็เวลาที่เปลี่ยนมาเป็น .NET Core นะครับก็มีปัญหาอยู่นะครับเช่นพวก reflection library นะครับแต่การพวก convert ตรงไปตรงมานี่ก็ easy นะครับไม่มีอะไรนะครับ
One of the things that was difficult though wasn't in the actual code itself, but in the complete change that they've done with the testing framework. Moving the test library that they had for the Slack.NET API was quite hard.
from what I believe
Uh, Yeah, it was using XUnit. We tried to convert it over to NUnit because that's what we normally use at Agoda, but it was just, yeah.
ครับครับก็คือปัญหาอีกอย่างหนึ่งคือเราอยากได้เทสมันมาด้วยนะครับแต่ว่าเทสตัวไลบรารีที่มันเป็น .NET Framework ครับมันยังอยู่บน XUnit นะครับแต่เราจะ transfer มันเป็น .NET Core แล้วก็ based on ที่ Agoda เราใช้ NUnit นะครับเพราะฉะนั้นการ convert จาก XUnit มาเป็น NUnit เนี่ยก็ยากครับ success convert
Yeah, we converted it. Yeah, we don't want a project that's live without unit tests.
yes เราก็เอา convert มาหมดได้หมดนะครับ
Yeah, and it's available on the github.com Agoda if anyone else wants to do a bot in .NET Core. So the other thing we're doing is we're using octokit.net for wrapping GitHub. It's a great library if you need to access GitHub's API. It's available in .NET, Ruby, and a few languages. And yeah, so the bot monitors the Slack channel for commands, and the developers issue it commands, and it uses the APIs to orchestrate between TeamCity and GitHub.
แล้วก็เราเปิดโค้ดนะครับตัวที่convert มาแล้วนะครับอยู่ที่ github.com/agoda-com นะครับเป็น open source นะครับเปลี่ยนจาก Slack.net API จะแบบไม่ใช่ .NET Core นะมันเป็น .NET Core ก็ลองเข้าไปดูได้แล้วก็ใช้ UI octokit นะครับ
So how does it work? Basically, the developers interact with the bot in a Slack channel. There's Nikki up there joining the queue. So basically, it's a command line driven interface through the Slack channel. It's a bit like IRC bots. If you guys are old enough to remember those. That's the thing that amazes me. It's like 20 years ago I was using IRC bots, and now I'm using Slack bots 20 years later that are basically the same thing. Yeah, and we've got various commands, so you can join the queue waiting to get merged. You can MQ leave the queue, MQ list the queue, MQ help. And MQ start and stop that we use if we want to stop the merging process in case we've got like an issue with master we need to manually fix up.
หลักการทำงานของมันก็คือนะครับเราไป monitor channel ของ Slack นะครับอาจจะ create มาเป็น deployment channel นะครับแล้วก็ใครที่จะ deploy เนี่ยก็ล็อกอินเข้าไปที่ channel นั้นนะครับแล้วก็ตัวระบบของเราเนี่ยครับจะคอย monitor command นะครับเรามีบอทชื่อว่า release manager นะครับ release manager บอทเนี่ยจะคอย monitor command หรือว่ามีการ join queue ไหมหรือว่ามีการ leave queue ไหมหรือว่า queue เนี่ยมีอะไรอยู่ในคิวบ้างนะครับแล้วก็มี command help ให้นะครับ
So how does it work? Data storage and queue persistence. So the bot uses GitHub for all of its storage. As it's doing things, it stores state transitions on the GitHub pull requests as comments, and then it can read those back out from all the open pull requests if it's rebooted to reinitialize its state. We didn't want to create a new database and store data and stuff like that. We just wanted to use the tools that we had, and it works out quite good because we can go through the pull request history and see, as people are added or leave the queue, we can, and also when they're merged, it makes comments as well.
ก็คือเราใช้ state ของ GitHub นะครับเพราะฉะนั้นเราใช้ flow เดียวกันกับ GitHub นะครับเพราะฉะนั้นเราก็จะอ่านคอมเมนต์ของ GitHub พวกนี้ครับมาเป็นstate ของตัวระบบการ deploy ของเรานะครับระบบ queue ของเรานะอย่างแรกคือเราจะ store เราใช้ persistent store นะครับจากตัวนี้เลยครับคอมเมนต์ของ GitHub เลยนะถ้าเกิดเครื่องมันดาวไปเงี้ยเราก็มาอ่านเลยนะแล้วก็ใช้ state transition read ขึ้นมาแล้วก็มาเก็บไว้ใน memory นะครับเป็น object.
Yeah, so the state transitions are reread and replayed every time the bot starts to rebuild the state that it's currently in, it's just runs out of the in-memory object and commits or stores the state transition in GitHub.
ครับก็คือถ้าเกิดว่าระบบเรา restart นะครับเราก็จะไปอ่าน state พวกนี้ใหม่ในทุกๆ pull request นะครับแล้วก็มาสร้างเป็น object ของ state แต่ละ pull.
So what does it actually do? It polls the repo every 10 seconds for the commit statuses of pull requests. If one of the pull requests in the queue has a passing commit statuses, it will merge it. So one of the reasons we use the commit statuses, I'll get in that in a second. So the top 4 in the queue after someone's being merged will have their builds run again and updated from master. And then basically of those top 4, one of them will pass and then they'll get merged in again. And then the next 4 will have their branches updated, run the builds again, and the process just repeats in a cycle like that. The reason we did the top 4 was because sometimes a build will have an issue, so you can't always guarantee that if the first guy in the queue will have a passing build. Yeah.
ก็หลักการนะครับอัลกอริทึมก็คือเราจะไปมอนิเตอร์ว่าใคร MQ จอยเข้ามานะครับเราจะดูว่าพวก pull request ที่อยู่ในคิวนะครับทุกๆ10 วินาทีเนี่ยสถานะมันเป็นยังไงครับ status มันเปลี่ยนไหมครับถ้าเกิด1 pull request ใด pull request 1เนี่ยในคิวเนี่ย success build pass everything นะครับก็ merge เข้า master นะครับแล้วหลังจากนั้นเนี่ยก็ rebuild top 4นะครับ rebuild top 4นะครับเพื่อที่จะทำไมเราถึง rebuild top 4ทำไมเราไม่ rebuild แค่ top 1เขาอาจจะเป็นคนแรกนะเพราะว่าบางทีเนี่ยเราไม่การันตีการ success ได้ 100% ของ top 1นะครับเพราะฉะนั้นเราก็เลยเลือกมา top 4นะครับซึ่งใน top 4เนี่ยก็จะเป็นโค้ดล่าสุดที่พร้อมจะเมิร์จเข้า master นะครับ1 ใน 4เนี่ยก็จะได้ไปก่อนนะครับถ้าใคร success.
So, and we use the commit status for to judge the build success. The reason for this is that we've got all these different tools that integrate with GitHub, and so we've got static code analysis, we've got builds in TeamCity, we've got CodeCov, which is our code coverage server, and so all of these tools integrate with GitHub and update the commit status when they know that the code's valid. It's a nice system, so we check the commit status as opposed to checking individual tools. So even though we can connect to TeamCity to get the full build status out of that, we don't. We rely on what it communicates back to GitHub. So when we want to add new tools in future, it's quite easy.
เราใช้ commit status นะครับของ GitHub นะครับช่วยในการเช็คว่าจะไป state ต่อไปได้ยังไงนะครับโดยที่เราใช้พวก external tool นะครับมาอัปเดต commit status ตรงนี้นะ This is only for GitHub.
Yeah, I don't know if GitLab has commit status. I think it probably should. Yeah, it does actually. Yeah, does anyone here use GitLab?
ใช้ GitLab ครับ
Yeah.
No one.
No. Everyone uses
GitHub.
Everyone uses GitHub?
SVN.
No. Tell me it's not true. Yeah. Yeah. No, I know GitLab has it because I remember seeing it the option in TeamCity when I was setting it up. Okay, so the release manager bot runs 24 hours a day now. In some cases, developers will join the queue, leave the office, and the bot sends them a Slack message. You can see an example here saying, "Hey, your pull request has been merged to master," long after they've gone home. It's been quite successful. Some days we're doing up to 40 merges to master in a 24-hour period using the bot running day and night. We had some. When we had the manual process, we were getting what I consider a problem is developers logging on at midnight so they can merge their changes into master, which is just not a good working environment. So having this automation in place means it becomes easier for the developers. They can just join the queue, forget about it, and they get a PM from the bot when it's merged.
ก็การที่เราเปลี่ยนมันเป็นบอทนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นทุกอย่างจะอยู่ในโฟล์ถูกแท็กกิ้งทุกอย่างแม้ว่าเราจะทำงาน 24 ชั่วโมงนะบางทีมี developer ที่เข้ามาทำงานตอนดึกก็ได้นะเขาก็สมัยก่อนนี่คือเวลาเข้ามาทำงานตอนดึกเขาจะไม่สนใจคิวเลยนะเขาจะเมิร์จของเขาเองนะครับคิวนี่ก็ไม่มีความหมายนะแต่ว่าถ้าเกิดเข้ามาในระบบบอทเนี่ยเขาจะจอยคิวอะไรบอทเนี่ยเขาสามารถทำได้อัตโนมัตินะครับเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยทุกวันนี้เราเข้าไปถึง 40 เมิร์จto master ต่อวัน
So we did have the bot wasn't without its criticisms though. This is actually something that was said to me at Agoda. He said, I think the merge bot was wrong. I think we built a great automation tool that has almost nothing to do about being a bot. Instead, we could have just put a ready to merge comment on the pull request and do the same thing, which is kind of true. What we tried to do with the bot wasn't to think about the best process, it was to look at the process the developers had already created and just mimic that. The mobile team's actually done something like this. They use a comment on their pull request, whereas on the front end we use a bot. I like the bot though. I like having this little avatar that you can talk to and interact with.
Yes.
I think it makes it more fun, which is, you know, if you're not having fun at work, then you should probably look at changing jobs, to be honest. You know? The other bit of feedback we actually had was from the security team, and they had some pretty valid feedback about Slack. A Slack bot is basically a Trojan. So you have something that sits inside your firewall and you issue remote commands to. So if anyone, it's true, yeah. If anyone is using bots and using Slack bots in your organization, enable 2FA on Slack. You know, treat Slack as something that's a little bit insecure because in essence it is. All the channels default to public. It's possible for someone to view a channel without joining it, so you don't actually know who's viewing what you're typing. So be careful with Slack.
ก็มีทีมอื่นที่ deploy แบบที่ไม่ใช้บอทนะฮะเขาใช้คอมเมนต์นะครับเข้าไปในตัวคอมเมนต์ใน GitHub นะเพื่อที่จะเปลี่ยน status ของการ deploy นะครับของ flow นะครับหนึ่งอย่างในเรื่องที่คอนเซิร์นของบอทนี่นะครับก็คือเวลาเราใช้ Slack นะครับแล้วเราใช้บอทคุยกับ Slack เราสามารถที่จะอาจจะมี security concern นะเพราะว่าเราสามารถที่จะสั่งบอททำอะไรก็ได้ครับ
So, how do the developers feel about it? What do you think about it, Tom?
It's very cool. Are you can to open source?
Open source? Well, maybe, because we're going to stop using it.
Can we do requests for new features?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Resolve the merge conflict.
You can do more than just request new features, Max. You can send us a pull request.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one of the good things about using systems like GitHub internally is, you know, this bot is, the repository that the bot is in at Agoda is open to any developer. So any developer at Agoda can come and make changes and then send a pull request. And then, of course, there's an approval process. But yeah, it means that we can collaborate and feel free to, you know, work on the automation ourselves and be a part of the solution to our problems.
I'm curious, in regard to the criticism comment that you had there, have you felt that there's value in the fact that people interacting with the Slack bot essentially is, it's visible to everyone on the team, they can see kind of what's happening, or is it just too much noise actually and everyone ignores the channel where like people are asking the bot to do things?
I don't know. Well, I mean, because I don't use it every day like the developers. What do you think, Kurt? Put you on the spot, or Tom?
It's we created especially channels just for deploys.
Yeah, but sometimes I also think that it's too noisy because the merge bot is very noisy.
Yeah, he's a bit verbose.
Yeah, but we split the channel to the specific purpose, only for merging and for that purpose only. So if you are going to go into the merge queue, you will be a part of that channel. And if you are not on the merge queue, I don't think you will have to take a look into that one.
Yeah, it's mainly noisy when people are joining the queue and there's a lot of traffic. If it's like if we stop it because there's say an issue with master that we have to urgently fix, it stops getting noisy and people can come in and there's actually a chat that goes on.
Yes.
So that's
one thing. The bot is intelligence, right? It adds mention to the guy that involved, so we can ignore it until we got mentioned.
One more question in relation to that. Is it possible to get just, because usually I have maybe several pull requests in TeamCity waiting for the automation test and everything, and I would like to just receive my own pull request. Is that something that the bot can do? Like I tell him, just let me know when the pull request.
Yeah, so if you join the queue, you'll get a private message just for your pull request. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a special queue for the code reviews?
For code reviews? Well, actually, we have a code review bot, but he's just automated. But yeah, no, there's, yeah. Yeah, we can run the code review bot in parallel, unlike this guy.
And how many pull requests in your queue?
On a bad day, when we've had problems, I think I've seen about 38 in the queue. Yeah, but once we fix the problems, they flush out pretty quickly, and by the next, it's interesting, you know, I've seen it at 6 p.m. 38 people in the queue, and then, you know, we fix a problem and they start flushing out again, and then by the next morning there's 7 people left in the queue with merge conflicts.
But we also have a feature to keep the people off.
Yes, someone did a feature to kick people out of the queue, and I don't know.
Somebody is like it, somebody is not.
Yeah, it's, I think that was a bit of a controversial feature. So yeah, I've actually asked for that to get turned off.
But
You like it? Yeah.
And about prioritize the urgency of the pull request.
Oh, that's what we use the start and stop feature for. So generally, if we've got a high priority pull request, it'll be because there's something broken in master. And so we just stop the queue and then get that guy merged in and then resume it again. Yeah.
So this is not particularly about the bot, but do you guys use any regression test analysis where, like, you know, like some of the change doesn't have to be run when the first one you do it first, right? Like when you like some commits are pushed in, you don't actually have to rerun all the commits. Like
Yeah.
you can use any tools like that.
We run everything. So if you've got a change, we rerun the entire set of tests again. Yeah, because I think it gets hard when you try and go, okay, only this part's changed, so we're going to run that suite of tests.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gets hard because we've got shared components and things like that. Yeah, I mean, it's something that you could do, but when I've tried it in the past, it's gotten hard. Cool. All right.
No.
Are you sure? All right.
You can show them the interface, the commands, the help.
Yeah.
Maybe they can relate to it. The non-Agoda guys, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you want
No, I don't have a
that.
slide for that.
Yeah.
And I'm not using my Agoda laptop, so I can't. Yeah.
Can you do a merge request or?
Can I do it from my watch?
Yeah, push to button.
I'm not in the queue. Actually, I think I can because it's got the voice. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Thanks, guys. And yeah, we've got Nut on next, but I think we'll take just a 10-minute break, and then Nut's going to talk some more about bots.
Thank you, guys.